All right. Hello, Open Buffalo. It is Zanetta. This is my video recording of my questions, and yes, I'm reading from 2 to 6. And I was so excited when when I saw that this was an option to do our answering our questions instead of writing them out. Sometimes, you can get a little different feel about who people are when you get a video. So I am recording this video in my bedroom. My bedroom is kind of like my safe space. It is where I meditate and I come home from a long day and I breathe in here. It is where I hide from my son. I'm saying that quietly because he's out there with his friends playing video games. And if I'm too loud, they'll think I'm available to feed them and things like that. Um, so this is where I come to hide from life. So I think I'm just gonna like jump right into it. I don't really have anything creative and crazy, but welcome to my bedroom. I won't let you see all the things that I sleep with because that's creepy. It's really just books and stuff like that. I'm like the old lady in the shoe. Um, got some snacks, pretzels. Yeah. Anyways, so I'm gonna jump right into it. So one of the first question is, how did I hear about the program? I heard about Emerging Leaders a while ago, actually, just through social media and some of my friends and people I know who participated in the program, and I saw it. And I was lucky enough to be chosen to participate in the Justice Leadership training, and that was amazing. And I met some amazing, dope women in that program. So I knew that this was coming, and I'm excited it's here. I hope I get chosen to participate in the work that I do. I think that I always need to do a lot of professional development, and doing these different trainings helps me with that. So so the next question is, what is a challenge in the Buffalo community you would want to focus on? So for me, I'm born and raised in Buffalo, on the east side of Buffalo. I still live on the east side of Buffalo. I'm raising my son on the east side of Buffalo. And I think one of the issues for me personally, growing up through it all and seeing kind of like the good, the bad, the ugly, and all of those things, um, change for me is definitely inclusion. I feel like Buffalo, the east side of Buffalo, isn't included in like all of these changes that we're seeing, and this whole renaissance of Buffalo. um, the east side isn't seeing that, and that's problematic for me, because this is my community, this is where I live, this is where my son lives. I want to see an amazing east side of Buffalo, which I know it has the potential. We have some, amazing people who live on the east side of Buffalo, despite what people think and you know, what they hear and the things they like to spread around. There are amazing people who live on the east side of Buffalo. There are amazing businesses and, things like that on the east side of Buffalo. And I just want to see more of a focus on restoring our neighborhoods and the houses and the streetscapes and things like that, and the businesses, and these small businesses that's been there forever. They're struggling and they need help, and they need to be included in the renaissance of this city, and that's important. That's important for me. So the next question is, what do you think it will take to solve the challenge you presented above? I think I kind of touched on that a little bit. I think that it's going to take effort on the part of these developers, and I'm not talking about gentrification and all those things. I'm talking about seriously looking at the issues and saying, how can we help the people, the businesses, everything that's going on the east side of Buffalo? and make it equitable. Don't, I'm not talking about, building, a building full of $1,200 a month lofts. I'm talking about, making it so that people can actually afford to live, to work, to shop on the east side of Buffalo. And truthfully, that's going to take some people losing some money. Like, if you have to invest in something that's not going to make you, $20 million, but on the back end of it, you're improving the lives of people and you're improving a neighborhood, I think that's what it's going to take. And it's going to take developers, it's going to take business owners, it's going to take investors, it's going to take public policy, it's going to take legislation, and all of those things. So I think that it has to be some sort of a coming together, of everybody who isn't out, to make money off of, the changes that need to happen on the east side of Buffalo. I think that's what it's going to take. It's going to take someone saying, I don't want to make money off of this, but I want to fix it. Yeah, that's my answer. Um, so number 5, finish this thought. Buffalo will be open to everyone when everyone acknowledges that there's a problem. And everyone doesn't acknowledge that. A lot of people, see Buffalo as a way to make money. They don't see the east side of Buffalo equally that way. So I think that, like you have to, it's so complex, and I know you guys know this. Like, I don't have to tell you this, you know this. But I think that when people really say, like, and I know everyone's heard this recently, it's like, we went to east side of Buffalo to get exactly what's going on all over the city, but no one's doing it. I mean, they're doing it. They're building, they're fixing sidewalks on Fillmore and, and wherever else they're fixing them. But it's like, is sidewalks really gonna fix the problem on these? I mean, sidewalks are great. It's wonderful to have nice sidewalks and streets and things like that. But it's like, is that a part of the problem? I feel like people need to be honest about what the problem is. And we're not going to see change until people are honest and we actually talk about what the real problems are, like racism, systems that have been put in place to, keep people from succeeding and getting access to their fair share. So yeah, that's my answer. All right, so the last question. So please tell us about a time where you had to take a leadership role in a community or a situation. So working in the job that I do, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of that. There's a lot of different situations. There's a lot of different times when I've had to take the leadership role. And it's something that I'm good at, because I feel like good leaders know what they're good at and they know what they're bad at. And I'm one of those people, and I'm willing to say that I don't know how to do something. So my leadership style is very different, and I'm good at delegating. I'm good at knowing what I can do. I'm good at pointing out who can, take care of, the accounting, or, they can, do whatever needs to be done. Because money and numbers is not my thing. I was an English major, okay? I can write you a story, but don't ask me to compute no numbers. So I do a lot of events through Senator Kennedy's office in the city of Buffalo. And one of the times when I had to do some leadership stuff was when I wanted to start my Single Moms Club, which has been amazing. Okay. Um, but there were some people who had a problem with it, and not in our office. Our office is, they love it, like they super duper super duper love it. Um, but I'm talking about like out in the community. Some people really had, they had some feelings about single mom. Ooh, it's like this. I guess it's like this bad thing. I don't know. I'm a single mom. I don't really see the problem with it, but yeah. So this event was one of the first or the second event that I was doing, and some people had some issues with it, and we had a nice team conversation about why we do what we do for single mothers, and a couple of people had an issue with it, like I said, but I think that once they saw my passion for it, and it wasn't even really like I was judging them for not understanding why we have to support our single mothers in our community, I think it was more like they got it. Let's just say that they got it after we sat down and we talked and we communicated about it, and I was very open and very honest about why I do the Single Moms Club and things like that. And I think they understood. So I think that made them a little more comfortable about taking direction from me. Because a lot of times, I think for whatever reason, people don't like to listen to Black women. I'm just going to be honest. Let's just put that out there. And so when, the Black woman with the big hair shows up, in the room, and she's the one delegating responsibilities and telling people what to do, and then, you get some pushback, and you realize that the pushback really wasn't even about the Single Moms Club. The pushback was more about who I was, and that was a learning experience for me. But it turned out good because the event turned out good, and my single mamas had a good time, and that's what that was about. So yeah, so that's my leadership, one of my leadership experiences that I think sticks out the most. But I think that it goes back to why I'm so interested in racial justice and things like that. So, thank you, Open Buffalo, for listening to me. I hope I answered all your questions. And if you have any more questions, just reach out, and I hope you pick me. I'm excited to participate. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.